What's going on, everyone? Let's see. Yo. What's going on, guys? Welcome. What's up? We got some potions. Guys, so I've come to realize that the potion, right? Apple cider vinegar with chlorophyll water, and then the oregano oil. Oregano oil tends to potentiate, right? Tends to be more bitter, more stringent. Perhaps even better for you, right? The issue becomes the taste overpowers. So what I like to do is combine the oregano oil with wheat germ oil, coconut oil, olive oil as a base, and then put the oregano oil into it because you can't taste it. But if you don't want to take a shot of oil or break your fast, this is what I would recommend. They're basically oregano oil tablets that you can take. Of course, they're liquid, which I think they're definitely more bioavailable. You don't taste it, and then just take a sip and get shredded. So guys, I'm only gonna be here for a little bit. I might be here 30 minutes, an hour. I'm gonna accept a few requests and talk about some biohacking. Alpha, we can talk about whatever you guys want that's pertinent to 2024. So I'll start accepting people. If things get a little bit boring, I'll boot you out. Okay, so ideally I want to get people that are actually going to talk. Let's see. Got a few people. Who do I pick? All right, we got somebody with breath work. We'll see. Let's see if we get some sauce. I don't know if I can join. I might get somebody else. Accept. Oh, there.
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You said you can?
I can hear you breathe.
Right on, dog. How you feeling, man? How's Mr. Belmar?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling invigorated. The reasons I've been fasting a lot and focusing a lot of photobiomodulation, also high levels of methylene blue, cycling it, and I've been doing crazy protocols, like fourth dimensional protocols in a fasted state, and I feel really good. And
That's what's up.
now I'm going to go more into the material realm and start eating more, carving up, and actually start hitting the weights for the hypertrophy. So you just get the best of both worlds. So that's where I'm at right now.
The yin and the yang, brother.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to ask you how you got started on just like personal development in general. Like, did Luke kind of lead the way and put you on as the older brother? Did you kind of go your own paths and then like reunite? Like, where did it start for you on like just consciousness in general and the desire to become the best version of yourself type shit?
All right. So in terms of, like we've always been at it in terms of like just going at it in terms of like development. As children, we definitely were the type to kind of like switch things up a little bit, and definitely people don't like that. That being said, we did come across like the whole social media making money on the online platform in like 2016, 2017. So for me, like when we started doing drop shipping, bro, it was like hours, days and days. It's the whole like summer. You can go to the pool once. It's like go to work, get the money with serving tips, deposit at night so you had the liquidity to do the ads for the next day, and you just hustled it, bro, and just hustle, learn this, learn that, and just always try to become better. It's a lot easier when you're like single and you can be more focused, right? When you have a relationship, it can be a task. If you have children, it can be even more taxing, and then if you're trying to get fit, so there's a lot of balls people juggle with and people don't know. But for me, it's always been kind of like, yeah, I feel like that's the only path for me in terms of satisfaction. Like I feel true satisfaction is like knowing that I know who I am when the camera's off, when the camera's on, like just being comfortable with you, and then also not caring what people think, bro. I think in the last year and a half, I've like aged so hard in terms of not caring what people think. Like I'll tell people straight in the face like how I see it with respect, but sometimes, bro, and I realize like I'll go out in public, bro, and I'll get into altercations, fist fights, whatever, without wanting it, right, or provoking it. So it happens. Now, is it intentional? Whatever the current is, it happens. So yeah, that being said, I just feel like people need to be more intentional with their energy, right? Because what you're doing there, every time you expose yourself in public, you're exposing yourself to energy. This can be the gym, this can be the bar, this can be a hookah lounge, this can be at the beach, right? So, for example, the other day I went to the gym late at night thinking nobody was going to be there. Tons of people there. I turned around, I left. I went for a long walk, 15-minute walk, did some stretching. I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with all this energy, bro. Like, what? No chance. Like, botted guys, like, Bluetooth, just like, yeah. And you're just like, nah, I can't deal with this. I can't do this. Not now. I'm going to go for a walk, look at the moon, you know what I'm saying? Like, ground. And I'm all about that, like, intuitive flow, intuitive training. Yes, coming with an idea and an infrastructure of, like, what you want to tackle, whether it's hypertrophy, whether it's, like, stretching, whether it's mobility, whether it's a mix of both. But then, like, being able to flow, not being the guy that's waiting 10 minutes in line to use the bench press. Right
Right.
there on this phone, like this. From one static motion to another static motion. Like, just, I mean, it's now, I'm not saying it's bad. I don't think it's the most optimal.
No, I agree with you, bro. Like I've always been like kind of a weird individual, but in a like I would think a good way. Like anytime I'm in the gym, I'm doing weird Tai Chi stretches, shadow boxing, breath work. Like I just left the gym and then of course I got Chick-fil-A after. So
Bro,
sorry to let you down, Sensei.
You know what's my thing with Chick-fil-A? For the longest time, I thought it was super healthy. Like, it was like, it's the healthy of unhealthy foods. But then you're like, yeah, but it's peanut oil. And when you
Yeah.
look at peanut oil, like, that just by itself, you're already like, so Chick-fil-A, if they stepped up the game and started cooking with a ghee, grass fed, like, if
Yeah.
they stepped up their game and actually became, like, the healthy food for fast food, I'd be all about it. But I haven't touched a Chick-fil-A in, I don't even know. Last time I was bought it, when I was
Yeah.
drinking tap water.
And hey, I'm
Chick-fil-A.
glad you said I'm glad you said it like that and put it like that because that's motivation for me. Like last time, and I'm gonna get vulnerable really quick. I don't want to take up too much of your time,
Bro, you're
but last
fine.
time, the first time we spoke, it was probably a couple months ago, and it was on it was on a Twitter on an X space if you remember. I'm Liam Neeson. You were like, oh, Liam Neeson. Um,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and then I was telling you that I was kind of going through like a porn addiction and trying to
Okay.
overcome that. And so I'm fighting that battle. Basically, bro, like I know there's a lot of people in here who
Yeah.
are facing resistance, whether it's an addiction to sex, to food, whatever. Can you drop some knowledge on like how to just overcome that resistance of a negative habit and
All
and,
right.
and, and alchemize it into something
It's a
that
great
they
thing
can
because
benefit?
I've literally been thinking about this like for a long time. Because everybody stumbles. The issue is the hypocrisy when people stumble and they pretend they don't stumble, and then they have the audacity and the balls and the two-faced wicked serpentness to cast judgment upon other people. That's what I have a problem with, right? When you're faking something and then you're casting judgment upon other people, that's my issue. I don't have issues with people stumbling. I don't have issues with people being open, right? But when it comes to that hypocrisy and that Pharisee-like behavior, if I spot it, bro, I'll call it on the spot, like straight up, or I won't talk to you. Like I won't verbally, like speak to you. Like when I'm in confrontations with people and people speak to me, who says I have to speak back to you? I
Facts.
look at them like the other day, a lady, I was walking, she looked at me, she's like, "Who do you think you are?" Like walking like this, slinging like this. I looked at her from top to bottom, looked at her for 30 seconds, and walked away. She started tweaking, screaming, "La, la, la, la," jumping on. I'm like, okay. Like, what should I do? Like, say I'm sorry, say like you're right, get an argument. Like, I just like looking at my mind's like, why would she verbally spew that? Like, right? Like, what's
Yeah.
the emotion behind it? And then I heard her talking to servers. She was just a work of art in terms of being a total bot. So let's break it down. It's what you feed every day in your mind, right? So we're bombarded by propaganda with 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 sexual innuendos, right? So why is this crucial to know? Because sexual innuendos or hints may not seem powerful, may even seem innocent to a person who's been bastardized by corruption and watches porn nonstop. But to a person who's never seen anything, it can be a massive trigger. And I've personally noticed on my Instagram feed, the last 2 times I've logged in, there was soft porn. And I looked at it, I'm like interesting, because I don't follow any chicks. I literally leave my eyeballs on purpose so they can scan my eyeballs. So like what post I'm reading, I don't engage with any sort of thing. If I did, I would go on the internet on a private browser, you know what I'm saying? So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, this happened once, happened twice, happened 3 times. I recorded it, I posted it on X, and I'm like, this is crazy. Then I took it off of X because it was I'm literally setting a just a bait for other people. But I just couldn't believe it, right? Like I wasn't even following these bots. Like that being said, everybody's being propagated with soft porn, right? With sexuality. And then what they do is, in a way, they inhibit you from tapping into your fullest potential of not being full material, full man, full carbon, right? Full earth, like being spiritual. And when we become spiritual, it's realizing what sex really is and how it's been bastardized and how it's been tainted. And then understanding how the diet, how your inflammation, everything tends to make you more emotional. Hence, you want to cope with your dopamine, right? And that's just one thing you do it. You're like, well, I don't have sex with people, so it's fine if I watch porn. Or I do. And we always find ways to cope with it, bro. Like, that's the truth. We always find ways to cope with it. I understand, but let me tell you something. Our grandparents dealt with it. Our parents dealt with the same problem. But what do they have to do? They have to walk a couple streets, go get a magazine, flip a few things,
Right.
see if they got something. See if the perverts on Playboy got something in the magazine. Now you literally have your flip phone. You have kids that are 4 or 5 years old engaged with pornography. Like, that's mind-boggling. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm whatever, but I'm telling you, once you start realizing for what it is, you're like, okay, dude, like, you gotta detach.
Yeah.
And detach is the first step is like being talking with people and like being open about it. Because the worst thing you can do is being closed about that kind of stuff. That's just my personal take on it. Also, my personal take on it is it bastardizes everything, right? It seems very good at the beginning, right? Very pleasurable, but in the end, most people, myself included, feel guilt, shame, or a sense of like this wasn't the most optimal. And it's not like, oh, once the act finishes, you become elevated, right? No, you become worse and you become hiding. It's like we all know, like people go through that shit. It's like spiral loops down or spiral loops up.
Yeah.
Like that's just how I see it. I'm not saying I stumble or whatever, but now I'm not like super sexualized. Like, oh, I see boobs, and I'm like go crazy. Like I'm like, okay, they're boobs. Like, and I get because you're older, right? So you've been through it, you become a little more desensitized. It's a lot easier for me to say that now. When I was younger or a kid, it's a lot harder, right? Because you're dealing with other hormones, like you're going. So like the whole thing's messed up in terms of access. It's basically portals of hyperconnection into free stuff, and you have to ask yourself what's free, because nothing's ever free. There's always an exchange. Maybe it's not fiat, but there's always an exchange, and that's what people don't understand because they look at everything one-dimensionally.
Yeah, you just dropped some gems right there, bro, for real.
I mean, I've really been thinking about it, bro. Like, it's been honestly like mind-boggling. Like,
and last time, one thing you said that kind of stuck with me was like, dude, you got to remember, it's literally pixels on a screen. It's not real.
Yeah.
And you know, like I bring it up not to try to like hyper focus on it, but just to keep it real, because I know that, you know, this is the shit that people don't talk about. But you know, like you said, like a lot of people bullshit and fake it. But yeah, man. So like resistance. I mean, closing question. Like, do you feel resistance sometimes?
Sure. So for sure, I can tell you tricks. Like, there's tips that you can do. Like, it can be anchors, right? So what you're always feeling is always energy as well. Like, it's there's heat to it. So you can always get cold showers. You can always practice flexing. Like, if you get good at flexing, all it is you're flowing alchemy from one area, right? You went from a normal genitalia to a raging boner, to extracting the blood flow, the life force, into another area, whether it's squeezing your glutes, squeezing your calves, squeezing your quads, squeezing your biceps, squeezing your chest, doing some push-ups. It may seem dumb, but at least you're substituting distracting. Like, I'm not a rocket scientist. I can just give you alternative, like, things I've tried. Like, the last thing you're doing, if you're heated, you're just going to be there, like, pondering on, like, should I do it, should I not do it, should I do it, should I not do it? No, be like, okay, do something different. Go get a cold shower, like, and you'll realize, most of the times when people fall, it's when they're on substances, when they're not sober minded, when they're bored, when they're really, really tired or like delirious, so they're not, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yep.
always states of vulnerability. It's never like, oh, when you're feeling good. And that's the issue, bro. And it's like every day is a battle. It's like every day, every day, every day, every day. The problem is when every day becomes a negative, like, loss, right? And that's what you go to sleep with at a subconscious level. That over years, bro, compounds. Like, trust
Yeah,
me, it compounds.
it does.
Positive compounds, negative compounds. And if you do both, then you always become stagnant. You're just like this.
Yeah, bro, and I'm 33 years old, guys. So for anybody listening in
Yeah.
their 20s or teens, just don't do porn. Listen to Nate. He's a fucking G. And dude, you just said something right there. What you think about before you go to sleep compounds.
Yeah.
I would recommend people check out Joseph Murphy, Dr. Joseph Murphy, and Neville Goddard. They break down the subconscious mind in a really applicable, easy to understand way. And they're really big on like what you think about before you go to sleep, like the feelings that you cultivate are what you're going to create more of because it's like you're feeding your subconscious mind that to basically slow cook while you sleep.
Can
So,
I can I say something
yes,
there?
sir.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go off of what you're saying. This is not foo-foo magic. This is pragmatic, rational thinking,
yeah,
understanding that you're a multidimensional being. Multidimensional means we go beyond the flesh. We're more than one dimension. Understanding that we conduct electricity. Understanding that all our cells are linked and are smart and are intertwined. What does this mean? They've proven it with water. So if we're 80% water or 85% water, right? And we know what the power of verbal, written, or orally speaking affects the water, plants, or whatever. What makes you think you're any different if you're part of this ecosystem? Like, what makes you have the audacity to think that you're different, that you can bypass the laws of entropy?
facts.
Nobody. Same thing with guys that dab in psychedelics for 5 years. Like, bro, I'm a pro. I'm like, bro, you have no idea what you're messing with. This has been going on for millennia, dog.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what we're talking about, but I went on a tangent there. But that's what I had to say.
Facts,
Yeah.
bro. No, I mean, you and your brother, man, have really, I don't think you guys realize, like, you probably do, but I know that you guys have way bigger fish to fry than just making vlogs or whatever. So I appreciate the time you take to, do these lives, to put out your videos, because people like me who are in the struggle, there's all kinds of us out there, and your videos really do make an impact, man. Shout out to Sneeko, shout out to your brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the people who are, don't put anybody on a pedestal. Don't idolize anybody because we're all human and we all will, like you said, fall sometimes just to get back up, the ebbs and flows. But for real, man, I really appreciate what you do and what you
Yeah, man.
stand for.
You're welcome. You're welcome, and I
Facts.
appreciate you appreciating appreciation.
Yes, sir. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure to
So
talk to
it's
you, man.
good. But the truth is, at the end of the day, bro, is we're flawed, and then we're put into a matrix or a system that thinks that a certain thing called mammon or power or status or fame makes you as an individual. When you realize that's a deception, then you realize you're no longer attached to it, regardless if you have $1 million in your bank account, negative $10,000 in your bank account, or $100 billion in your bank account. That's just fiat. It might all be wiped, and everybody might go to zero, regardless of your status. Like, you never know. Like, I have a high inclination that may occur. So if your hold on and your whole identity is based on how much you have in your bank account, and that's wiped out, then what? You're going to commit suicide, or you're going to become depressed, or like what's going to happen? Like, those are just realities people are always have in the back of their mind that they're not willing to confront and sit down with them. So that's always a possibility. But that being said, bro, solid. But that's just my thing. But the same I would apply to fitness, bro. Like anchoring with fitness, like understanding anchors. Like, for example, today I like to breathing peppermint oil, but now I'm doing little pellets where you like bite into the pellet and it spreads the peppermint oil. So I'll do breathing before my training. Yeah,
Nice.
and I've noticed a difference. And it's just like the little things that you can go stacking. And it's not things that are against or antagonistic to the purpose that you're trying to create. It's almost harmonious, and it's like micro tasks within the macro task, which can be like, how can you boost as much performance in terms of your stretching, your working out, your whole session within a time frame and not waste time. Like, okay, you understand that oxygen is super important. Drink some salt with water, maybe some lemon. Maybe if you want to do some baking soda, honey, salt, that whole combo, that's fine as well. Go into the gym, pop one of those eucalyptus or mint pills,
Mm.
breathe, focus on breathing, focus on what you're going to do. Be like, okay, you look at the machine, see, okay, what's available, what's not available, what you want to do, how you're going to structure it. You kind of go thinking it. Then you go do your hero flow, get into the movement, start stretching, and then that's what I do, bro. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And if that machine's there, I'm like, and there's a lot of people, I'm not going to do it, bro. Like, no chance. I'm not waiting. And it's zone 2 training / it's always zone 2 training, like training in a fastest state, zone 2 training. That whole like, oh, you lose muscle after you train.
Yeah, we're talking longevity here. We're talking longevity.
But not even but it's not even true. That's only if you're like not metabolically flexible. If you know how to spare amino acids, if you go through your glycogen tank and your body starts freaking out, then that becomes the problem. They're just operating off a different paradigm and they're putting every single other person in a box. Like I get DMs like, bro, you look great, but you probably feel terrible shredded. I'm like, no, bro, I feel like static. Like if I had to put a word, I would literally be like, what's the word? I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, how do I feel? How do I feel? Invigorated. That was the word. Invigorated. That's how I feel. So like you can cast your own judgment on yourself. Like I'm not gonna take it. And I'm saying it because I've talked to people. I've done like 64-day fast, like just juice fast. When you understand that you can work off electrolytes, light, like, and bro, you realize that everybody's body, they don't know what they're talking about. So you just have to start piecing things together yourself.
And that's the whole journey right there. Just
Yep.
peeling away the exoteric and getting into the real meat and potatoes of like whether it's religion, politics, biohacking, health. Like the shit that they tell you is not going to be the real shit most of the time.
Well, that's what people understand. It's like what 90% of people are consuming, you shouldn't be consuming it. Like that's just my opinion. Like when it came to fitness, bro, if I was listening to conventional fitness right now, bro, I'd be jabbing myself with steroids. I'd be doing tons of meals, microwave, microplaning, tons of carbs. Make sure your carbs. Like what? Like I'm like, bro, this makes no sense, bro. It feels like I'm constipated. Like I just got kilos of deamination that needs to, and it just can't happen if you're always like feeding your body nonstop food. Like it's just impossible. It's impossible for your brain to ever operate off of fat if all you do is feed it sugar. Yeah, dude, I don't get into ketosis. Well, it's probably because you're putting sugar into your system and telling your brain to tap into it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, bro. Yeah, man.
So yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, man, dude, I'm just letting all that shit marinate, bro. Just playing the water in the seeds, letting it soak in, because yeah, I really needed this tonight, man. And I just hope everybody has a great weekend and doesn't falter to temptation and distraction and just fucking crushes it, man. Because we all have the potential. We all have the potential to be the greatest version of ourselves, man. It's one day at a time.
And it's one day at a time, and that's what people don't understand. Yeah, but good talk, bro. I'm gonna get somebody else.
Awesome,
but
man.
Good luck, bro. And keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, man. God bless.
God bless. All right, next on MTV. Psych. You don't want to do MTV. Botted. MTV botted. This guy has a blue check. What's up with the blue checks? Everybody wants to join. Nobody wants to join. What is going on? You have somebody on?
Mr. Belmar.
Hello.
What's going on, dude?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Appreciate you letting me on the live, brother.
Honestly, bro, you're kind of cutting up, so I might have to cut you off. I'm sorry.
You're good, dude.
Because you're cutting up like bad. Just for other people. But ideally, we can get you back on another time.
All right, sounds good.
All right, peace, bro. All right.
Am I good now?
No, it's just stop. Like stop. If somebody's driving, tell them to stop driving, because that's the issue. Is the connections when you're driving. Don't fake it. We can see the background.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you.
All right, peace.
Later.
All right. Next person. Yo.
What's up, Nate?
How you doing, man? How's those sun cycles?
Doing good, bro. Sun cycles?
They going good?
They going good, bro. Always, G.
Good.
Sweat equity, bro. Always.
Good. You've been putting in the work, bro. I see you.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. I've been eating a lot, man. I've been fasting less. I'm really trying to bulk up. Like,
How's
I'm
that going?
trying to do about 20,
How's that
20.
strategy going for you? Eating a lot.
I mean, I always fast, of course. I don't eat breakfast at all, but I break my fast like at 12 or 1. Like you said, I try to incorporate a little bit more carbs and just get my protein goal, all that.
You should do more fats, bro. You already know. Like I've literally
Oh,
been
well,
saying
facts.
this.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All that,
Yeah,
yeah. I take to get those extra calories in.
yeah.
I just I get coconut oil, olive oil, all that good stuff. Gee,
Good.
yeah, bro.
I
Wait,
would
like you
tap
said,
more to lipids, bro. Like the idea is maximize caloric surplus with a less amount of density matter in the stomach. Like that's how you get shredded. And
yeah,
that's one facet. Then there's other facets like toning and all other stuff.
for sure, bro. And the exclusive content that you posted on MA Shreds, bro, you look huge. G. How much do you weigh right
Well,
now?
that was huge, bro. That was me not working out for like 3 months, bro. That was
Really?
the drop. That was the caloric. That was my drop, bro. That's like me not working out.
Damn,
I dropped to 190.
bro.
I was at like almost 220. And
220?
yeah, I clean bulked, bro. I clean bulked, and then on May when I launched Anime Shreds, I fasted. All I did was fast and walked. I didn't work out once. I didn't do crunches, anything. Like no push-ups, nothing. And I went to see the whole like, yo, you're gonna lose body composition. And I was like, just getting lean,
Nah, bro. You look you're.
shredded.
How tall are you, bro? How tall are you?
I'm a 6'2".
6'2"? Nah, yeah, you're pretty tall, G. Well, I don't know, but
I think
bro,
it's normal. Like,
two
yeah.
220? Fuck, man,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
pretty.
Some people like I met people like, bro, I thought you like petite and small. I'm like, no, not really.
Yeah, bro. Nah, when I saw that exclusive content, I was like, damn, bro, Nate looks beefed up, G.
No, bro. Wait now, bro. I'm actually like now I'm going phase 2 hard, bro. Like I haven't
Nah,
done
yeah.
creatine, nothing. I've been off creatine like for 2 months, bro.
So now you're clean bulking again, or
I'm
what?
clean bulking. I posted like the phase, the clean bulk phase, and then I'm gonna stop dropping the exclusive content, and I'm gonna drop the vlog also. But the vlog is gonna be a double vlog,
Yeah,
and extra
for
content.
sure.
So that's why it's taking a little bit longer.
Wait, like
But it's good.
you said with the guy before, you said you've been like I think you said you were like fasting a lot right now or something.
So much fasting, and where I'm not even like tracking how many hours. Like it's just intuition. Like
Yeah,
when am I
yeah.
hungry? How much can I push myself? Am I really hungry? Can I like do a surplus of electrolytes? Like go for a walk, maybe do a swim, maybe do cryotherapy, maybe get a little PMF with like the pull off. And I feel like all those things, right, in a fasted state, you tend to be more like I wouldn't say bioavailable, but like you actually feel it more.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
and bro, like I've only been sleeping 3-4 hours, like for multiple days. And like when I was launching Anime Shreds, the cycle was sleep 10 to 15 hours, and then be up 30 hours to like 48 hours with a power nap in between 24 hours of like an hour. But I was feeling good, right? I was feeling good because I was fasting. I was very light. Like I wasn't doing crazy workouts. Now, when I was bulking, I was eating heavy carbs, heavy fats, heavy protein. I was doing a lot of like hypertrophy, right, with the weights. Bro, I needed a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
10, 11, 12 hours. Like I needed, yeah. And I was more sedentary. Also the winter, I was up in the mountain. It was like, so yeah. But I put on mass, bro, and I felt like a little bit dense. I felt like I needed now I feel limber, good, like good baseline. Alkalinize the body a little bit and just go like round 2.
So when you were in the mountains, you were going straight bulk, bro. You were going crazy.
Straight bulk in the mountains.
I
Yeah.
saw your story today, bro. You were like showing some rice.
Yeah. So today I went to Gyukaku. It's like a Japanese all you can eat. Yeah. It's pretty good. I went in there and yeah, I just scarfed everything.
Is rice like rice an optimal carb? Would you say like is it
So
a
I
good
prefer
carb?
potatoes over rice personally. But if I were to do my rice, this is what I tend to do with usually organic white rice. I'll put it in some sort of acidic solution, whether it's apple cider vinegar or lemon or lime, in water with a little bit of salt. Mix it. You'll let it sit there, and you'll see all the crap coming out, like all the toxins, everything. And the water becomes from clear to super dark, and you can do up to 3-4 rinses of this, right? But the issue is because the more you strip it, the more it becomes less like rice. It almost becomes like pudding.
Oh,
So I would only strip it once, then leave it in cold water, and then cook it in coconut oil, which you already do for the glucose reduction. do the ACV shot before 30 minutes, go for your walk, then digestive tea. So it's like reduction of glucose spike.
For sure. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
Wait, you were saying also when you were like talking to the last guy, you said you were getting the best of both worlds. What did you mean by that? Like you're fasting and then you said you're about to bulk up. Like what do you mean like best of both worlds? G? Like you're gonna like do
Well,
both?
it's like when you start eating more food, right, and when you start like fasting less and everything, you become more material in terms like your senses, your intuition, everything becomes more physical. Like you're more in like the physical realm. When you start fasting more, when you start doing certain therapies, when people start doing psychedelics, right? It's almost like they go into different frequencies and not different realms or different portals, but you do have leniencies because I almost look at it as a certain frequency that you tap into when you alchemize different concoctions. This can be psychedelic or non-psychedelic, and it gives you effects. So one must be wary, right? When there's certain protocols that people suggest, and its origin was one of not one substrate of energy, but multiple herbs, roots, concoction. Ayahuasca, I'm talking about. People have they speak a lot of good things about ayahuasca. They don't speak about all the dark stuff that a lot of people deal with after. The issue is how it came to be. The natives say the plants spoke to it. And when you start doing the math on it and you realize the combination of the formulation, how it's made, you're like, dude, you might as well believe in the Big Bang, right? Like, it's very hard. So if there's a mastermind behind it and a lot of people have the same experience, you'd be like, okay, is there a certain frequency that you can tap into that potentiates an experience, right? That's not material. So that's what I mean, like getting the physical, and that's when I talk about like in the scrolls and everything with like the different elements: fire, earth, water, wind. I would almost relate more to like to earth, to carbon, to food, to matter, right?
Yeah.
So that's more or less what I was like hinting towards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk to you about, G. Because I just want to get
Okay.
on here, kind of yap a
Okay.
little bit.
All right. Yo,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
bro.
get. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but he has a 7 at the end. He said he wants to join.
All right,
But I'll
thank
see you
you.
in Anime Shreds, bro. I'm going
Hell
live
yeah,
tomorrow, so you can ask me a
bro.
question as well.
Everybody watching this has to join Anime Shreds. Real spill. It's like the best, bro. All the forbidden information. You have to.
All
It's
right, I'm
essential.
getting Adonis on. Hold up. I appreciate the shout out, though. Good stuff. The first Forbidden Scroll is epic. I do declare.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy.
Wait, we can get multiple people? I did not know
Mr.
this.
Belmar.
How do we do this? Oh, it's actually good.
Yo, bro,
You could
you,
actually get some
you want me on
fire
or was it a
stats. What?
mistake? You want me on or was it a mistake? Are you still talking to this guy?
It was intentional.
Oh, okay.
I
How
saw
are you,
that
bro?
invite and I accepted.
Thank you,
Yes.
bro. Thank you, bro. How you
Yeah.
been? All good?
I've been busy. I've been good.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I wanted to
You?
ask you, bro. Get on here, yeah, bro. God willing, bro. Good always, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, bro. What are your keys to enlightenment, bro? Because this is a big part of leveling up, yeah. And um, there's a lot of talk about becoming this enlightened version of a person. You know, you have to become who you want to be before you are it. What are
Mm.
your keys of being enlightened?
So I'm gonna tell you what enlightened is not.
Yeah.
Enlightened is not you taking psychedelics or a sort of drug and you shifting your perspective because at a molecular level there are certain things that are occurring in terms of new neural pathways being developed, right? With like psilocybin I'm talking about. So what I'm talking about is you you're not woke, right? Like you taking a high dose of psilocybin or a low dose, all you're doing is developing a shift of consciousness, right? Perceiving things from a different lens. That does not mean you're woke. That just means you, my friend, observe life through a different lens now, right? What do I mean? Think about it. You walk through the street, you look at a sidewalk, you look at a rail, you look at this and that, and it's normal to you. But then somebody walks there who's a skateboarder. He looks at it completely different. That is what I mean by perspective. So when people take psychedelics, the perception of their world shatters, right? Some people can go crazy. Some people can be enlightened, right? But all it is a shift of perspective of consciousness. It maybe leads them towards a better path. But all it is a shift of consciousness. Now, that doesn't mean you become woke, right? Because you also see the other side of the spectrum when people take high levels of psychedelics and it goes very negative. So that's what I'm telling you is not being woke. What is woke is trying to pursue the path, the way, the truth. What is it? And being comfortable with being uncomfortable and pursuing that, like fully honestly, like when nobody's watching, like, are you pursuing it? And you know when you're pursuing it full-heartedly, or when you're partially doing it, or when you're not doing it at all, right? And I feel like that's where true wokeness comes, is when you're actually willing to become a student. And I'm not saying this in an attack or cheesy way. What I'm talking about is just like being open-minded, being willing to listen, right, from certain sources. Now, the sources that you listen to are crucial, because you could be open-minded but listen to the wrong source, and you, my friend, have been misguided. Misinformation has occurred. And then you, with your new perspective or your new lenses of psychedelics, right, now you embark on this journey thinking you're going to change the world, and all you're doing is living with delusion in a paradox that nobody can get you away from. So it's a tricky subject, right? But that's just my perspective on the whole woke thing, when it's all it is a shift of consciousness. And I'm saying
Yeah,
from personal experience.
yeah, bro. I think I do 100% get what you mean, and exactly, you said a point there which I agree with, which is you can be open-minded, but you can be fed viruses, bro. It's like each of our heads is a type of program we're running and a software we're running, and we're constantly trying to make that better. But being too open-minded, which is usually what happens to most people, allows viruses, Trojan viruses, to come in and rewrite their whole mental state, and that's why we see so much people these days being basically lost, walking away from what's important, and they're actually in a false state of reality. And true state is just being closer to nature and being closer to God. And as you were talking about before, about porn and about addiction, about all these basically vices that are here these days. Honestly, that's really the battle. People are battling their whole life on level one. You know, they're never able to become enlightened and move forward. And you just imagine how many more souls could be doing great things if they just locked in and tried to realize what's important. So, bro, I really like how you're on here and basically preaching your ways, because too much people gatekeep, and
Yeah.
just a part of the world, I guess. The tall poppy syndrome. No one really wants to help others. If so, it's actually the opposite. They want to rip people down.
Yeah. Well, the issue is, and but that's an emotional reaction, right? Because people feel it in a negative state, and they try to tear other people down to put them to the same level instead of elevating
Yeah,
themselves. So sometimes, bro, and I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Sometimes when I find myself in public settings and things get heated, sometimes, bro, like I lose my cool. Like I lose my cool. And do I think it's something that must be worked on? Everything must be worked on. Even the energy itself, which today was actually, I was working with a fourth dimensional laser. I was hitting my pineal gland for a couple of minutes. Uh, Before the guy even like analyzed me, I already had an analysis of more or less what was going to occur, and a lot of it had to do with energy pent up in my stomach, which is like the emotion, and that thing was spiraling, right? And then when you put it in different areas, it did different things. And I knew it was going to happen, and it happened. I was like, okay, great. So we did the protocol, and then everything completely shifted, but it even amplified. So I feel like sometimes in heated situations, it's if you're botted in terms of like working off the same program, right? Like you always do the same things. Like it's those people where it's your typical employee, your typical coworker. It's your typical. It's not a real conversation. It's almost like automata, almost what's the word, like societal customs that one has to do. Like you go and check out at Kroger, and you're like, or Publix or wherever, and you're like, hey, how are you doing? You don't really care how they're doing. You're just saying it because you say it because it's formal. But what if we actually cared? What, like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day? Oh, you remember the person. Like, but the people are so concerned with themselves that everybody lives in a bubble. Now, if everybody was concerned with other people, at least with a few people, yeah, things would look completely different. 100%. Like 100%. But dude, and that's the issue, bro. A lot of it is emotional, and it's very hard to tap into being more rational. If you're feeding yourself highly inflammatory food, right, it's messing with, like, all you have to do is look at the human body, bro. Like, look at the connection from top to bottom. Understand how you're blocking those channels, how you're blocking your fullest potential, just by looking at the body. Like, I'm not. You don't even
Exactly.
have to be a rocket scientist. Like, they'll tell you, like, okay, this is what you eat. This is what happens. This is what gets inflamed. This is what stops working. And yeah, like, think about it. Think about all the quote unquote disease or all the mental illnesses or everything that we have that's been on the rise, but it's all related to inflammation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people seeing demons like in the closets, like tripping. And I'm not saying demons don't exist. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they're vividly seeing things, they're experiencing things, but it's potentiated with inflammation in their diet, right? And when they put them on a ketogenic diet and they reduce those levels of inflammation, a lot of people that have had schizophrenia say they feel a lot better. I'm not saying they don't have symptoms here and there. I'm just saying it's not potentiated. And it's not the potentiation, it's the potentiation with the compound of time. That it goes compounding, 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 compounding to where the person goes crazy. I don't know if you saw a Twitter post about the chick that stripped naked right in the airport, like,
Mm-hmm.
go crazy. Like, I'm not saying that was the issue, but I'm saying that's the kind of persona that works off a script, right? That's very easy. I'm not saying to get subjected by possession or anything, but what I'm saying is, like, if you're suffering from mental illnesses and you're potentiating with inflammation, those occurrences can occur.
Yeah, bro. Hold on.
Yeah. So that's just my
Yeah.
take on it, because when you see stuff like that, bro, it's only been on the rise. Like, before, whack things would happen, but now it's like, I don't want to sound mean, but the children nowadays look different than my generation, than the generation before me, right? All you have to do is look at your grandpa when he was a little kid, look at him in his teens, look at him in his old age, and look how chatted he was when he was young,
Mm-hmm.
and now how old and crippled he is. And you're not chatted at all. So what's gonna happen when you get old? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing being pragmatical, looking at it logically. I'm not being a douchebag. I'm not being, like, if being fat was great, dude, I'd be eating hamburgers all day, high gluten. Like, I don't like. It's not about. The problem is people get emotional with an aesthetic or silhouette. It's not about the silhouette. It's about metabolic optimization, being healthy, or inflexibility and syndrome. Like, it's your choice. Now, if you want to choose the wrong way or the less optimal way, and that's what you choose, that's fine. But don't potentiate or impose actions or special treatments because of your bad lifestyle upon other people. That becomes the issue. And the other way around. Somebody that's healthy shouldn't be being like, oh, you fat, like, whatever. Like, that's, like, derogatory. Now, you can be aware and be like, hey, you're not living a healthy lifestyle. Now, if the person doesn't want to listen, then they don't have to listen. That's fine. Like, you can't save everybody, bro. Like, that's the truth. You can only be true to yourself, spread as much knowledge as possible if you want to do it. You don't even have to do it. But just give it your best shot. That's just my opinion. Like, if you're going to go out, at least go out with a bang. That's just the way I see
Yeah,
it.
hard, bro. Hard, definitely, bro. And yeah, exactly, bro.
Fucking good, bro.
Did I'm from Sydney myself, bro, and I'm very close mates with Ziz's brother as well, so very close. I wanted to ask, did Ziz inspire you in any way?
Hmm?
Did Ziz inspire you in any way?
No. To be honest, no. Like, I no. To be 100% honest, no. It was because I didn't. He wasn't the person I, like, grew up on, like, watching. Right? He's a person I saw later. And I'm like, oh wow, this guy, like, blew up. What it, like, dope? He caused this whole movement. So I watched his life. I watched his story. I'm like, dude, what a beast, what a legend. But it's not like I grew up on him and, like, had no idea because I didn't have the internet, bro. I didn't even have a
Yeah,
flip phone, bro. I was, like, in a village in Argentina. Like, I had zero Ziz influence, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Now, when I came to the States and I understood, like, culture, Gymshark, and all that, and I saw people doing their thing, and I saw where it came from, I'm like, oh, okay, that's super cool. So no, bro, I think Ziz is awesome. Like, his story is tragic at the end. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, but in terms of who he became and the process and how many people inspired, bro, I think it's true inspiration, and people should try to pursue an endeavor like that. Like, why not try to level up like that? For me, bro, it's always been, like, anime characters. The guy who got me on was Rock Lee. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like,
Fuck.
Rock Lee, bro, seeing him train when he takes his weights off of guard, he just, like, drops it like that. I'm like, dude, I need to go get ankle weights. Not like ankle weights, like, stuff like that, dude. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I see similar like qualities in terms of the exterior, perfection and the aesthetic perfection, are chased because obviously the outside sort of first, has its seeds planted from the inside, yeah. So although Ziz has that tragic tale, it's the timeless aspect that matters. And I didn't even grow up with him, but I do see that, yeah, bro, a message like that is truly timeless, and it's kind of like we are continuing that in different ways. You through your philosophy, and you've taken it one step up. Where he was involved in things like steroids and things that really could lead to your demise. You're taking a different route, and that's what matters in life. Carving
But
your
you know
own
what the
program.
truth is also, bro? You know what the truth is also? And
Yeah,
I can't say it personally, but I have like watched videos. Like he was trying to shift, right? I feel like back in
yeah,
the day there wasn't as much knowledge with steroids as we have now. Like I feel like if he had more information, he would have pursued a different path. Like I'm like 100, not 100% sure, but I feel like it would have been a possibility. And that's
eight
the thing,
sets.
bro. We're always like learning. And but the truth is, like, regardless if he took, at least, bro, he did a positive impact. He wasn't like bashing people or trying to bring people down and like elevate himself. No, bro, he was telling hey, the skinny kid, like, bro, you can get jacked and like make something of yourself. Maybe the whole like rave like wasn't the most ideal burnout, especially if you get older. But like the whole like elevating your body, like that's 101 rudimentary. Then it's elevating your mind, your spirit. Like it's a trifecta, bro. Not even a trifecta. There's probably multi dimensions in this whole spectrum. But the truth is, bro, at least I can guarantee he's done more true impact than a lot of people,
Yeah, man.
especially people that are celebrities or people that are in the politics or whatever. Like he's truly done more inspiration. I'm guaranteed. And I'm saying people that had access to his stuff or like were inspired by his stuff when they're at a younger age. I just didn't have access to the content, but maybe if I did, oh for sure, bro. Like transformation's epic.
Yeah, bro.
But the
But
truth is,
but
bro, the truth is understanding what we said before. It's like it's good to respect somebody. It's good to look up to somebody, but not idolize somebody. Not put somebody on a pedestal. Like if you put him on the pedestal, put him on the pedestal because he accomplished something, and then rise yourself and put yourself on that same level,
mm,
bro. And leveling up and leveling up and leveling up. Because I can guarantee if the guy was still up and around, he'd still be going at it, bro, and he'd probably be doing some crazy stuff right now.
yeah, bro.
Like he wouldn't. Like that's the truth. So it's good to be inspired, but I don't think like you should like idolize people. Like don't idolize me. And one thing I always tell people, bro, it's like whoever you listen, always take it with a grain of salt. Even me, bro. Like the best teachers, bro, will always tell their students to be wary of their influence. The ones that
Mm,
don't tell their students are what? Cult leaders.
yeah, pretty much, bro.
Probably
Pretty much,
scammers, bro.
Yeah. Just manipulate
bro.
everybody. Put them on substances and be like, okay, guys, now that you're tripping on DMT and now that you're tripping on ayahuasca, let's do this chant. And the guy knows all the frequencies and all that. And he's just like playing with people, bro.
Yeah, man.
People are so
But that, bro,
bought.
that's really that happened in real time, basically at the Olympics, bro, in front of the whole world. They're literally using that ceremony, all those people as political chess piece, bro. They don't give a fuck about those people,
Bro, all people have to do,
which is sad.
all people have to do, bro, is just reverse engineer everything. That's it.
Mm,
Reverse engineer why you're being fed that and start there. That's what I'm going to tell people. I'm not going to go full conspiracy, which you have to look at the word conspiracy, who came up with the word, and then look at the word propaganda and see if there's some sort of correlation between propaganda and conspiracy theory in terms of the word
the
and the
etymology
symbol
of the
behind it.
word, yeah.
What?
You're big into the etymologies of the words
Well, for
and the words that
sure, because
people use, yeah,
words are symbols.
yeah,
Symbols have meaning, and meaning can be shifted over generations.
and distorted,
And distorted
yeah,
information corrupts the mind. 101
very much so,
rudimentary.
bro. Very
Yeah,
much
for sure,
so.
for
Bro,
sure.
I just wanted to ask another question before I got off.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the idea of philosopher kings?
What do you mean?
Philosopher kings, meaning that the way the world's run, of democracy, where basically people who you know maybe don't know really what's best because they are feeding this wrong information, and really they're probably in unlucky circumstances a lot of the time. Do you believe that the only people that should actually have really political power in this world are people who are both philosophers, smart enough for the people, and kings that know how to lead at the same time. You know, not just who you see now, like random people, like especially in my country, bro. Literally
Bro, can
anyone
I
can get
tell
on
you something?
stage
Can I tell you
and
something?
rule the
There's
whole
so many other
country.
questions to be attackable for that one. That doesn't even matter, bro.
Yeah.
Would it be beautiful in a perfect paradise in nirvana? Yes. Will it ever occur? Most likely not. But things aren't fair.
Yeah, it's someone said in the chat. Yeah, but it's basically an ancient Socratic idea of the peak of ancient Greece where they saw that.
All people have to do is look up and understand fiat system and its correlation to maritime law. And from there, reverse engineer, build some hypothesis, and go on your journey in your merry way.
That's
That's
it, bro.
just my whole take on that. But no, I think in an ideal world, yes, if you look at ancient scriptures, everything was designed for there to be some sort of like aspect of a philosopher king that could go at every man to himself in the law of the land. But then what happens? Evil happens, and people become greedy and want to take the land of other people. So there always has to be some sort of like system. Like, yes, in an ideal world, yes, but then you deal with a human factor and manipulation of the human factor to potentiate it.
Hmm.
That's just my take on it. But yes, an ideal panacea, yeah, it's very nice. We could be all chatted, working out, like shooting lightning bolts. Yes.
Bro, your brother actually explained to me. You know how you're saying first find out what fiat is and it's linked to maritime law.
Mm.
Like I never questioned what fiat was until I started searching into it. In terms of basically the root of the meaning authority or power over, to control, and to see that their whole world, everyone's worldview is literally um going day in and day out, basically exchanging their time for that.
Can I, can
It's
I can I give a
crazy.
suggestion?
Yeah.
So you have all entrepreneurs, all money guys regurgitating the same thing. They just all look at it and regurgitating with their own spin. This is how I look at things. What is fiat? Under what law does it operate? What's your hypothesis in terms of its inflation rate? And hedge yourself by buying assets that are going to potentiate your health. That if the grid goes down, you have access to it for generations to come, unless you have somebody who's very dumb in your line of offspring that destroys the device. One thing. Buy things that you could potentially live off of. Third thing. Buy things that have the power of what? Shadow clone jutsu. They reproduce themselves. Cows, chickens, rabbits. You get just instead of you spending $50 on an organic ribeye, whatever. Like, why don't you start buying some chickens so they can reproduce themselves? So you can start like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be prepared. Why not? So my whole take is hedge fiat currency with actual assets that either multiply themselves, hedge themselves, or can help me survive or live, right? Or like move. Like people don't understand the game they're playing with. Like people don't have no idea what's coming. Like, and I'm not being condescending or mean. It's just like the reality is most people should start partying less and becoming a little bit more savvy and resourceful.
Mm.
Beyond fitness, like fitness is cool, but like, okay, shit hits the fan. How long can you fast? I can go a couple days. You could go a couple hours, and you're gonna start getting in a fight and trying to steal something at Costco. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
running from
bro.
mountains. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not being paranoid. I'm just being like realistic, pragmatic. Okay, if this happens, this anticipate the idiot. But in this system, in this instance, the idiot is the system, right? So what's going to go wrong? Perfect. Hedge yourself against it in every way possible. Now, if you can't hedge yourself in this way or that way, be realistic. Can you not really, or are you not willing to put in the work? If you can't, then don't worry about it. Don't stress about it because it's out of your control. Now, if you can do something about it, that's just the way I see things, though. But that's just my whole take on money. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
bro. That's on point, bro. You got a unique perspective. That's why I asked, man. And
I
you can
mean, this is
tell.
my take on it,
Yeah,
bro.
you
Like, people,
can tell,
yeah.
bro. It's a real one, and I mean, it's one that's created over your experiences, bro. Most people don't have something to share, yeah, and it's always good to hear your perspective and Also your brothers, bro. You and him are fucking power duo, like in this world. You know what I mean? Like in terms of you getting after what you're getting, and also helping others along their way. Like you are a bit older, you know, for the young 16, 17-year old, you know, people like you and your brother helping them out, and on a
I mean,
massive
all we're
scale.
doing also is just giving our input and our information, bro. But can I tell you something? I wish I had that information when I was young, right? Like, people ask me, like, bro, how can I be like, bro, you don't want to be me. Like, trust me, you don't want to be me. You want to be you. Just be the best version
Yeah,
of
man.
yourself. Like, bro, I was working at a gas station in Argentina, making pesos to make enough money to buy a ticket to fly to the States, right? And I came with less than $1,000 in my pocket, and I had to deal. And I'm not complaining. And there's people I've had it better than me, and there's people I've had it worse than me. But that's my story. Now, imagine me now in Argentina trying to hedge myself and buy a plane ticket to come to the States with the massive inflation that's blowing out of proportion there. Because the States is bad, but in Argentina it's like ridiculous, like monopoly. Like there's literally it's a game. Would it be harder? 100%. So I could have done it. So I took the action that needed to be taken in order for me to move to the next level. I didn't worry about level 10. I worry about level 11. You know what it's like? Sword art online. Your life's on the line. You take it one level at a time. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Build alliances. And just start leveling. Like, why not? Like, if you want to pout all day, bro. But I've been there. Like,
Mm,
take your life and get rid of it or, like, do something with it. I'm not
mm,
saying commit suicide because I've been there. But what I'm saying is, like, don't wallow in like doing it. Like, do it because you said you're gonna do it, or like don't do it, snap out of it, and like, bro, you've already lost a year, you've lost 2 years, you've lost 3 years of your life. Like, something I realize it's only gonna get worse. If you're depressed now in your 20s, in your 30s, it's gonna be worse. In your 40s, it's gonna be even worse. And that's why you get all the Karens, bro.
mm,
All the Karens, they're just potentiating negative energy over years. You see in their face,
mhm.
like, yeah,
Yeah, man.
you can literally spot a Karen a mile away, bro. You're like, dude, I feel the energy coming. You just see it, bro. You see the hairstyles, everything. You're like, it's coming,
Yeah,
it's
man.
coming. And all this is hypothesis with a percentage based on the area you're in. If you're in the States, you're in a population where there's a lot of like fried food. Yeah, dude. But I'm not being mean or condescending. I'm saying like I've operated off of Automata and it's not the most optimal.
Yeah, man. Same, exactly. And and that's why I wanted to come on here, bro, is because I actually, you know, since I basically started, you know, doing my own things, and only 3 years ago that I really actually moved from being, yeah, just automator doing, you know, shit on the base zero program, you know,
Mm.
and then started, you know, doing my own things and spreading my message, through what it is, through music, and that's, bro, inspired a lot of people, and so I keep
Guys.
doing
So
that.
how we talked before is we started chatting. When did we start chatting?
I think it would have been like a month ago, probably.
Yeah, he's guys like he's got some beats. Check it out.
Yeah, but
Check it
I
out.
produce music, guys. So
Yeah,
my
we,
name's
we
Adonis
got to
on
do some
beats. You might
dojo
have
beats,
heard it.
bro. Some dojo beats with
Yeah,
like 5 to 8 frequency. I
yeah, bro.
there's yeah, we'll talk later, but that would be dope. But guys, check it out. He's got some good beats.
Cheers, bro. Good
Cheers,
chatting
bro.
to you on here.
All right, I'll catch you later. I'm gonna get somebody on one more
Yeah, bro.
person.
Take
I'm
care.
probably gonna
Talk later, bro.
bounce.
Stay
All right, let's see.
enlightened, bro. Stay enlightened.
Stay in. Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Peace, bro. All right.
Hey, bro.
What's up, bro?
Hi, thank you for letting me on, man. I
What's
appreciate it.
your name? Introduce yourself.
My name
Introduce
is
yourself,
Bhavya.
traveler to the world. Just don't give them your social security or your blood type.
Yes, my name is Bhavya, and I just want to ask about eye bags because I'm very healthy. Like, I've been following
Hmm.
you for around 6 months now,
Hmm.
and I follow like most of your healthy stuff,
Hmm.
no seed oils, whatever.
Hmm.
But I just struggle with like my eyes looking tired constantly. So I
All
just
right,
want
so
to
let's
ask.
let's let's do this. Let's do this. You tell me, and then I'll answer. You tell me what you think are the protocols optimal to get rid of bags, like what you know, and then what you actually apply of what you know, and then I will tell you other things that I think would be beneficial to add on to it.
Okay. So I have researched into this and I've tried cutting out carbs for like a week or two, and it hasn't had that much of an impact. And I've also tried cutting out sugar, but I can't really
Carbs,
see
carbs
much
is sugar.
result.
Carbs is sugar.
Yeah.
Same thing. I can already tell you the problem, bro. You've already told the problem in 2 weeks. 2 weeks is the problem. That's literally the problem. Like
So I
you,
have
need
to
to
do it for
you need to get
longer.
rid of carbs completely. You need to go on a ketogenic diet. You need to go like full reset, cleanse your gut, get rid of heavy detox metals, bro. Like you didn't hit 101. You didn't try shit. I'm not being mean, but you just told me if you didn't go 2 weeks off of carbs and sugar, I can tell you that's the problem. Because when you start
Yeah.
fasting off of sugar, you start going with healthy fats, healthy meats. You start detoxing. You start taking sea moss. You start reducing visual contact with blue light. Start wearing the blockers, right? Start getting some sun exposure. Start adding oils that will basically tone the skin to similar level. The last thing you want is to be the typical American white basic girl that paints her face, cakes it, and you see the layer of the neck super white and caked here. So what you do in your face, you do on your neck. It can
Yep.
be rose hip oil. What you want to do is things that are going to add color. Why? Because if you put it under your eyes and you put it in your cheek, you're absorbing the same color. You're exposing yourself to the sun. You reduce the carbs. You reduce the sugar. You reduce the inflammation. You start incorporating optimization for photobiomodulation. You start incorporating things like chlorophyll, which will also help with the same process. And basically, then you start exposing yourself to the sun. Then you also add reduced shower filter. You start learning how to clean your skin, exfoliate your skin. There's a bunch of things, bro. Like literally, like you can go on and on and on and on. But if you haven't done the rudimentary, which is cut out carbs and do a full detox, then I can tell you that. Start with that.
All right.
And
Thank you
all
for
the other
that.
stuff I said later, that's all alpha that you can just do later.
Yeah.
But I was literally start with that, and that's why I started laughing, bro. I could have kept going, but I'm like, it's literally that, like 100%.
Yeah.
Because you
Sure.
start going on juice cleanse, like do parsley, do some celery, do some green apple organic. Make sure you either peel it or get rid of the skin, get rid of the seeds because of the cyanide, and just look at like how to get rid of heavy metal, whether it's through bath, whether it's through like taking it orally, whether it's flushing your body, right? So, for example, this is what I would tell you to do. It depends on where you are in your journey, right? If you're super healthy, you're fasted, you're fat adapted, your gut microbiome is in per check, I would tell you not to do what I'm about to tell you to do, right? Which is like flush out everything. Because if you flush out everything, all the good stuff is basically you taking one big gigantic antibiotic, right? And everything's flushed out. So I would suggest if you're healthy, and if you are going to do it, you make sure you incorporate healthy things that are going to compensate for the lack of what you just deaminated. So you have probiotics, you can do kombucha, you can do kefir, you can do raw milk, you can do raw goat milk. The idea is to bring back those probiotics. You can do cheeses. What I would do is the following: do warm water, room temperature, magnesium glycine.
Okay.
Because it's more bioavailable. It actually affects your body, goes through the the brain a lot more effectively than citrate because the molecules of citrate are a lot bigger. And I would suggest it because if you do high levels of it, anywhere from like 250 would be like a normal maintenance, but I would do maybe a protocol where you like take in a high dosage. I'm not going to give recommendations because it's not medical advice, but what you're going to do is you're going to flush out everything.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like you're going to be in the bathroom for a while and you're going to flush out everything. But when you flush out everything, that means you're a clean slate. Now, what do you do with a clean slate is up to you. Are you going to eat junk food and go back to what you just try to do, right? Go back in the rat wheel? Or are you going to start doing the juice cleanses and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Reducing the inflammation. So that's a protocol you can do, which is like flushing out or doing water that's deuterium depleted, right? So this is a strategy for shredding as well, like reducing salt intake, sodium intake, which is essential. You want electrolytes. But if you want to deaminate water and get rid of water in the system, you flush it out by not having any sort of salt, because where salt goes, water flows.
Yep.
You do
Got it.
deuterium depleted water, you start deaminating everything. You start learning about certain teas, certain herbs that can also be almost in a way a laxative, like an herbal laxative. You start tapping into that, but then you can't overdo it because then your body could go into shock. So it's understanding homeostasis and understanding putting stress on the body and how much can you actually take it. But that's more or less like I would go back, listen to this, and try to come up with a unique game plan.
Yep, sure. That's all I had to ask. Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll get one more, and then I'm bouncing.
Just one more thing. Just
One
one
more thing.
quick thing.
Okay, go.
Can you give me a follow, please?
No chance, bro. People ask for follows, bro. That's so lame. Get out of here. All right, next person. That was lame, dude. Don't do that, please. Guys, please don't do that. Like, I'm gonna follow you if you're cool, if I meet you in real life or whatever, but don't ask for follow.
Yeah.
Yo,
My connection good now?
I'm gonna follow you too, bro.
Bro, can you follow me, bro?
I don't mean to be a douchebag. Nobody, don't be condescending to the last guy. It was just funny. Just don't do that.
Yeah. Nah,
I didn't want to be a douchebag, but like straight up, bro. Like what? Come on. You put me on the spot. It's like the person that proposes in public. And be like, okay, if I propose in public, my chances go up significantly. Will you marry me? Shuck. No, I'm not gonna follow you, especially if I don't know you. First, no chance.
Gotta build the brand first, bro. You gotta have a nice profile picture and
Not even that, bro. Like, get to know me in real life, bro. Like,
yeah.
say hi to me, like, whatever. Like, that's the people I follow. Or you got something super interesting. That being said, let's totally ignore it. Let's bypass that. I did not mean to, like, do that.
Hey, dude. I got introduced to your brother and you probably a couple years ago, dude. More so like on the entrepreneurial side, and then obviously you started to get pretty big into like the biohacking stuff. So I started following that too. I kind of had a weird journey as well with the biohacking stuff. I was like a Division 1 wrestler, so I was like, bro, I was like cutting crazy weight, just doing like 20, 30-pound cuts, and then like basically developed really bad like eating habits because of it. I blew up to like from 140 to like 180. And then like I was feeling like shit, like bloated, like, you know, like heartbeats, like everything, you know what I mean? And so then I, you know, turned raw vegan like overnight. I went raw vegan, bro. Did like
What was the thing that clicked that you're like, okay, I'm gonna go full throttle vegan?
because
The vegan. Because I did that for a year and a half, almost 2.
Yeah, dude, and it's funny. People go down that rabbit hole and then they realize what's going on.
Got him. All those people that do high levels of mushrooms are like, yes, I'm a vegan now.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
that happens.
yeah. I'd say it was just from feeling like total garbage, dude. Going from 140 to 180, my body couldn't even handle it. I was like inflamed, my heart, like my chest, like you could just feel the inflammation in your neck and your like everything.
Were you having like heartburn and like?
Yeah, it was that. It was just kind of like breathing heavy too. Like, you know, bro, you know when you're inflamed.
Yeah, when you're not feeling optimal, you feel like trash. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same shit. So I went like, bro, they like were like sent me to the hospital and was just like checking me out and just like, oh yeah, I don't know, like nothing real specific, but they were just checking on me. And I was like, bro, I'm not ever finding myself back into this hospital ever again. So I found Dr. Sadie, and I like that's the first dude I ever found, the alkaline vegan guy.
Like, he's literally a wealth of knowledge, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's insane, dude. So I followed that protocol.
The only thing I
hard for, like,
disagree with
6
him is the
months.
whole meat thing. Besides that, but I agree with the whole alkalinizing, all that. Like if you're highly acidic, like yes, cancer and all these things can thrive. So if you're eating tons of meat, you kind of want to reduce that, alkalinize the body, do a lot of chlorophyll, maybe do some like sauerkraut, kimchi, like get some different, like that's what I would do. Like I would cycle off the meat a little bit, alkalinize the body, do baking soda, do a lot of grounding. Like I would switch it up, bro. I'm never about one diet. I kind of like go on certain diets. So I'm not bashing the vegan diet, right? Like I'm just saying it's super high maintenance and it's very easy to go from vegan to super unhealthy vegan, right? Because the options are there and they're very tasty, quote unquote. And the people are doing it for the moral reason, that's fine. Like I respect that, and I've done it myself, and I've put up with it. But I've noticed a lot of negative effects. But I went from a cleanse, vegan, healthy to like heavy carbohydrates, a lot of stress, sedentary lifestyle, not a lot of movement. Hair was falling off. I started getting when I got overweight, bro. It's that whole vegan stuff, bro. Like that was like like the heavy carb vegan, a lot of chickpea pasta.
I think it's better to actually go like raw vegan, like Dr. Morse, John Rose. I'm not sure if you know John Rose.
But what I'm saying is, do you understand how easy it's for a lot of people not to go? That's what I'm saying. The healthy vegan, highly okay, I understand what I'm deficient in. This is what I need to supplement. That's a complete different route, right? If you're going to take that endeavor for a moralistic reason, that's fine. What I'm talking about is the people that, oh yeah, meat eaters are, and they instigate trouble, and all they're eating is eating crap, right? Yeah. It's vegan or whatever they're eating, but they're eating crap. Like, you might as well do adrenochrome. I'm just kidding. That was a total bad joke. What I'm saying is you're going from one extreme to the other, right? and then you're casting your dogmatic opinion because it's attached to your emotion or your bias or your even who you are as a person, and then the other person who doesn't respect you, you feel like, and then that's why there's all this hate and all this contention between meat eaters and vegans. Like, bro, the fact that vegans are going psychotic on people and turning to spin people, like I'm looking at them like, bro, these people are like, what? And then you find yourself like they're dancing in between all of them, like
Yeah.
then shooting bullets at each other. You're like, oh, like, dude, don't hop on any side. If they're dogmatic and crystallized, don't even consider it.
Yeah.
That's why Miyamoto Musashi was slaying, bro. Every academy, oh, you got your dogmatic way, strategy. You got your strategy. Boom. Like, dude, over 60 duels. And that's 60 duels, one-on-one strategic combat. We're not including wars. We're not including tons of
Yeah.
things, bro. And accolades. The guy was basically like a stoic that wielded a sword. And people don't understand it. So if you study people like that, then you realize, okay, maybe this guy was into something. You know, it's not like boxing, right, where you can prep a match and pretend you win and, oh, you got a point. No, this is like, you lose, you're dead. Okay, you got a lot of dubs. You got something to say. Like, there. So we start people like that, or people like Bruce Lee, and you start realizing like a lot of his philosophy of rotation stemmed from people like Miyamoto Musashi, right? Because he had his style of training that he learned, right? And then he realized that, okay, like this, like it's good to potentially to style, but then like move on and do something else. Same thing with fitness. It translates to everything, bro. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
What that does is basically like giving people like the spectrum and the vehicle and the perspective, like, hey, looking at fitness through the same lenses, because it's very true. There's a lot of dogmatic statements and there's a lot of hate and there's a lot of contention between quote unquote teams, right? So when you come in there and you don't care what people think, you're like, dude, just do whatever, bro. That was the biggest thing for me. I was like, I'm just gonna do me, like straight up, and just being authentic to yourself. And then people hate you, they hate you. If people don't, then they don't.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell you, hey, go vegan, or go. I'm gonna tell you, hey, like, if you're gonna be vegan, at least eat eggs, right? Because it has retinol, vitamin A. Like, I don't feel like anywhere in the spectrum, beta carotene, whatever, that's not full spectrum vitamin retinol A. So yeah, good luck with that with your vegetables. It's not gonna happen. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It's so. Can I say something? Regardless of the diet, the same conclusion occurs that bastardization of the nutrients and the absorption of the nutrients has occurred. So regardless of the diet, we're all still like absent in a lot of things like magnesium, zinc, silica, right? So we're all here fighting the wrong battles, like working against each other when we should be like figuring out different ways depending on our diets to be able to like optimize. And that's it's the fight, bro. It's the same thing with politics. It's the same thing with religion. Now it's just translated into a different segment that people become what? Attached to emotionally.
Dude, I mean, yeah, like 2 years vegan, bro. Ate 4 eggs after it was my first meal. I had four like over easy eggs. I fell asleep for 5 hours. Woke up with the largest motherfucking. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, 100%. You feel invigorated. You feel invigorated.
Yeah. I went through the Big Ten tournament, literally competing as a raw vegan, like eating fruit. Like I had to manage all the weight in the water. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, and to my detriment. But then found out other things, like okay, if you could eat animal based in a way with some fruit and some like and incorporating herbs, tinctures, all these different things to help with the holistic versus just like
Yeah.
bulking and fucking like lifting the weights and all versus like functional movements, all this shit. I did come on here to ask you something specific though.
Yeah.
And so like I'm in your community, your anime shreds
Yeah.
community, just because like I feel like you got a very interesting brand style on, and not that this is all like you're trying to do it to sell stuff. You've been very intentional about helping people and like helping people get off this like bad foods, all this
Yeah.
stuff. But my take would be like as someone who's in the health biohacking kind of just like space like I'm kind of looking for the entrepreneurial advice versus and my question would be like, when starting like your school community, did you like, I know it's very natural. You are the person, you are that holistic guy that, but how did you, like, what were the steps to getting it to be successful? Like, what are the tips that you would give someone to
To start a
effectively
community?
start them? Yeah.
Okay. That's a great question. So what we have to understand is, what is a community, right? A community is composed by brains. A community is composed by souls. A community is composed by beings. So what you have to do is develop yourself as an individual that doesn't talk about what he knows, but lives it out, and people realize it, and basically becomes a person that people work or ask questions in whatever genre it is, right? And then just value, bro. Value, value, value. Like I had Anime Shreds IP for 3 years. I didn't post it once. I didn't pitch once. I didn't sell it like once. It was value, 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 value. I went off of social media for a year. I came back because I didn't want to do Discord. I didn't want to do that because all that is what is not human connection, bro. All that is information. Like you send a message here, there. Then I went. I was talking with a friend of mine, and I was asking him, and then I looked into school. I was there for 2 weeks. I looked at it as an ecosystem, like, oh wow, like you can actually build a community here. It's not like Facebook. It's not like Instagram. It's not like the layout was intentionally designed for communities. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to build my community here. Like, why am I going to build an email list? Why am I going to put people in the Facebook group where they're just sending? No, like if you want to build human connection, you have to facilitate human connection. And that's done by the proxy with school. That's why I decided to do it. In terms of, it wasn't planned or anything. Like I had all the material done. I had all, like, in the branding, I told everybody, like Anime Shreds, you ask me what's the ideal avatar, it's myself at 12 years old, 13 years old. Like I make everything for myself. Like I was into anime when I was young. I like anime. I'm gonna put fitness. Like the name, like it all came. Like I didn't really force it. It's like just like progression of life. It's not like I'm thinking myself to be this anime guy. It's like no, like I literally watched anime since I was like 9, 10, 11, 12. Like grew up on that. I was, and going back to the kid asking me if Ziz inspired me. I'm like not really. Like I looked at his life and it was great, but I was getting inspired by all those figures. Right? People don't understand, and it's something I can talk about later with the whole anime thing. I can do a podcast on that. The launch was very natural. I was just like, okay, I'm going to launch here. And I just started posting on every venue. And I told them, like, hey, guys, it's going to launch. The ideal price is $33. That's how much I'm going to be charging soon. There's a lot of people charging $44, $99, $3,000 packages.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is courses and information and apps. No human connection, right? So here you're creating course and then human connection. Let's talk about it. Let's level up. Like the fact that I can meet people and they're like, bro, it's so cool that I met this person, that person through the community. Like, bro, I get stopped. I don't say I get stopped often, but I'll get stopped once or twice. And people are like, bro, thank you so much. The community. Because everything was intentionally built there. Now, in terms of what it is, yeah, it's been, I mean, I've intentionally designed it for myself. Like, I was literally like, that's why I came up with the Forbidden Scrolls. Like, if I was a kid, I was like, okay, like, how would I like to receive information? I'm going to just scroll. If you don't like the scroll, don't read it. It's not for you. If you like it, cool. You vibe with what I vibe. That's fine. And if you don't, that's fine as well. But that's what I felt like was authentic to me. So I just created it for myself. And then I just launched it. And then I told Luke, I'm like, hey, can you push it? Because Luke's been in it. Like, he knew about Anime Shreds for 3 years now. But we never pushed it. We never did anything. And then I did everything tailored with Capital Club in terms of, like, entrepreneurialism with Entrepreneur Fit. It's like 4 hours. It's pretty good. But this is more like extensive, like just everything full breakdown, like constant live workouts. I'm gonna start doing like, yeah, it's just like whole next level, and it's just the transparency and the facilitation of that ecosystem, right? That's super important because people don't have the balls to like put in the work and actually develop an ecosystem and do it. Because it's not like, bro, I was spending hours and hours working. Hence the lifestyle it shows, high levels of productivity, work, dopamine, cognition stacks, right? While in a fasted state, getting super shredded, not having to do cardio, not having to lift weights, getting super shredded while I was like working, doing my thing, bro. So there's seasons to life. People don't understand there's seasons to life. The fact that you have to go to the gym every day to maintain a pump and you can't take a vacation and fast and go for a walk to look good, like that's not how I want to live my life, bro. Eating from Tupper meals, microwave every 3 hours. No. That's just not me. Like if that's you want to compete Olympically, good for you, bro. Like that's your stuff. I just want to look lean, healthy, mean, feel good, go on clean bulk cycles, shred when I want to, and like being able to be 70 and squat down and pick up a grandchild. Like that's the kind of stuff. Or scratch my back.
Yeah. So two more questions. One really quick, one a little bit not. So one question would be, so like, all right, so I was a Division I athlete, just tried to make the Olympics this year, took third in the country as a Division I athlete.
Oh wow, congrats, bro.
All these cool things, right? Now, I want to start my own community based off of like a healthy athlete. Because you go to these fucking places. I was at $1 million facility, and they're giving us Red 40 Gatorade sugar packets to eat for energy before practice. Don't
Yeah.
even get me. There's more shit that I was
Yeah.
like even worse. Like, do you think that would be like a really good kind of like niche or brand to kind of get into?
What my opinion is, you have to be passionate and knowledgeable about the aspect, and maybe if you tailor it first at the beginning, like Nike did, right, with a specific market, like what I'm doing fitness with anime,
Yeah,
and kind of like my lifestyle. If you approach like people that want to pursue like what you're doing, right, because you have the accolades, you have the status, you have the work that you put in to get to where you're at, and you've had all your journey, your experiences. Like people are paying for what you have here, and how you convey it, and the facilitation of the
yeah,
ecosystem and the environment, right? And the courses you provide, the people you bring on. I feel like you just really have to sit down and be like, look at it like what can you do for the community? Who is the target that you want to target? For example, for me, it was my own avatar at a younger age, and then post about it and see who's interested. Now, if you're going to do it for free first or for paid first, that's up to you. That's strategies. That's I didn't really. For me, I'm being honest, it wasn't even a strategy. Like I was just like, okay, I came across school. I thought it was cool. I'm like, this can host an ecosystem. You'll see my activity. I was there for 2 weeks and I launched. I didn't be like, oh, today's the day.
yeah,
No, like I'd be like, hey guys, I'm finally opening because I wanted to been opening the dojo for a while now, like in terms of a digital online dojo for people. In terms of like actually doing a real one in real life, I feel like there are going to be multiple lockdowns potentially in the near
yeah,
future, or some sort of impediment of movement in the like ether. So I kind of like pause on it, but I had to think of picking up like an actual real life dojo as well and make it like portable for people. So I feel like if you can facilitate cool experience like that you can only do for your people, people are join, bro. If they see the value, you present the value, and they see how much they're getting. For example, what I'm doing now is I'm traveling the country and I'm going to different biohacking centers. Like today, I'm right now in Florida. I went to this great biohacking center. They got like state of the art technology. This is not the one in Miami. And I told them like, hey, for Anime Shreds members, like I want them to be able to heal up, charge up. Like, what can you get me? Like, we can do 20% off market. Off market. So if in the market they're paying X amount for a monthly membership or a one-time membership for a month, they're going to do it by 20%. Now, was I being devious or anything? No, I went there for 2 weeks. I was doing all the protocols. I loved it. Talked with the staff, and I'm like, hey, like I have a community. We want to do that. Yeah, perfect. Value point. That's hundreds of dollars, and you only can do it if you're in Anime Shreds. Now, I saw it. Like, I'm like, hey, why? Because I was doing it. I was doing all the protocols. I'm like, this is great. And then the doctor's saying this and that. And the guy works with all the athletes. He works with all the top golfers. So if you look up whoever's top golfer is doctor, chiropractic, you might get an idea as to where the clinic is. But that's what I'm saying, bro. It's just being spontaneous and understanding how much value you can add to people. The issue is most people don't know how much value they have because they don't spend time and sit down and realize, okay, how much have I studied? How much have I accomplished? How much have I been able to learn? Actually synthesize that information and make it my own and not just regurgitate what everybody's saying. And I feel like you are at a level where you have a lot of value to impart. Now, how you present that value, that's up to you. I don't know. But based off
yeah.
of what
It
you
would
told
be the championblueprint.com, and it'd be basically be for athletes and high performers essentially.
fire. Good
You
stuff,
know.
bro. So is it gonna be like specifically athletes at a high caliber? Or are you doing more of a like what are you trying to do?
That's a great question. Get
Yeah.
more into the niche stuff versus like broad aspect of just like personal development. I think that's my problem. I'm trying to find that
Mm.
avatar and maybe do that. Like I would like to, work with my past avatar, but then it's like, oh, they're wrestlers, they're athletes. I don't know if they're gonna have a bunch of money, but really, it's 22 a month.
Well,
Do you worry
I'm
about?
not saying you're do my strategy. I'm just saying that's what I did. Like what I'm saying is like,
No, but I think
what,
it is the strategy. A couple of
yeah.
my friends went to that
Okay.
school
Okay.
thing that you were at. Like James Dumlin, the dude that runs School of Hard Knocks and stuff, like School
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Hard
Yeah.
Knocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was talking to him yesterday about it, and he was saying that the
Okay.
biggest takeaway like he had was like that you need to niche down and like have something like a specific avatar versus like like all over the place type thing.
Well, I mean, the issue is first of all you have to understand the human spectrum. Most humans, their capacity has been turned and molded to TikTok brains, aka no retention. You think they're gonna pick up a book about biohacking? Like, bro, I get the amount of DMs I get from, I'm not saying bots, but kids
Yeah.
that clearly are not people are gonna sit down and study. Like, what can I do to learn? Like, I'm like, bro, maybe just have an attention span of 5 minutes and sit down and read a book without like. Now it's very hard if you're doing tons of sugar. You feel like I'm telling you from personal experience because before I couldn't read a book, right? I thought I was like dyslexic or ADD, like that's what I was categorized, right? I thought I was like dumb, and now I'm like photographic memory, not photographic memory, but I can retain a lot of information if I intentionally put myself in that situation. So to categorize a person dumb, I wouldn't do that. I would say that person's not operating at their fullest potential due to the long periods of time of certain energy inputs that have caused certain hindrances in their brain performance. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But dude, in terms of like, yeah, I think the issue, bro, but going back with the broad spectrum is like, people want to go broad, but they can't even narrow down on one singular vertical. Like you go broad once you've gotten several verticals that you can talk about confidently. If not, just stick to one or two that you're really good at. Like, dude, I can sit down and talk about anime all day. I can sit down and talk about fitness all day. I can sit down and talk about stoicism all day. I can sit down and talk to you Spanish all day. I can sit down and talk to you about traveling all day. I can sit down because it's things that just like naturally sat down, learned, and talked about. Like, there's no shortcuts. Like that's what people don't understand. It's like intentionality compounds over time if one's disciplined.
Yeah.
There's shortcuts in terms of like there's strategies that can optimize and the performance can go a lot faster, but not like it's gonna happen overnight.
All right, more technical question. How did you get the access to like the Bruce Lee stuff? Did you have to go copyright? Did you have to worry about that shit, or did you?
Whoa, say that one more time. Say that one more time.
So did you have to worry like the more technical side of stuff? Did you have to go through any sort of copyright stuff to be able to post the Bruce Lee stuff in the community, or do you just do it?
Well, I mean, all you have to do is look at images and how they're being repurposed. Like, am I suing people for repurposing my content? Is Gary Brecka repurposing people for suing their content? Is Dragon Ball Z suing people for repurposing a kid that's doing an anime edit? Is Gary Vaynerchuk suing people for repurposing a wine video? Right? It's like, no, people are repurposing stuff that they found they're valuable and that potentially are going to go viral.
Only time I thought it would be an issue is because it was behind a paywall.
I feel like if we sold like merch from a specific brand, then yeah, but that was never the intention. The whole intention and the ethos is like embodying the essence of whoever you feel like is your hero.
Yeah.
And then embarking on that journey through self-discipline and not only in the physical manner, but in the metaphysical manner in a plethora of ways. I just decided to take the anime hero archetype avenue as to pursuing that for your physical endeavor in terms of your transformation. That's why I call the anime shreds embody your hero. It had nothing to do with Goku, Naruto, nothing. Those are just character hero types that you see on their journeys.
No, bro, I loved it. The Bruce Lee shit, the quote literally had me like, bro, in the chills. Like I forget which one it was, but it was just talking about. Oh man, I can't even remember. But the one, dude, it was just like chills down my back, and I was like, dude, this is insane. You know what I mean? So like, I was just curious about that because I'd love to, some of the motivational stuff. I didn't know what the technical side of that would be like, but yeah.
Well, I mean, technical side is kind of like, oh, you repurpose a quote from one show. Is that show anime? Is that show real life? Is that show reality TV show? All it is information that's being propagated to you with an agenda.
Yeah.
Whether that agenda is good or bad. And I'm telling people, like just because I watch anime doesn't agree with everything I watch with anime. Like, I feel like anime is getting worse and worse and worse. Just like TV. Just like reality TV. Right? Like, Cowboy Bebop, Akira, Samurai Champloo, Naruto is a lot better than some of the dumb stuff that's coming out now. Like, the fact that McDonald's came out with an anime, like, what? The fact that now you have governments propagating billions of dollars into anime to use, like, bro, come on, wake up to reality. Like, all it is a vehicle of information. What you do with that information is up to you, and how you procure that information, how that information, like, you choose what show you watch, you choose how much you watch it, you choose what movie you watch, you choose how much you watch it. It's up to you. What I'm conveying is that there's a lot of good messages that you will see in anime TV shows of the hero archetype, the friendship, family, loyalty, bravery, camaraderie, stoicism, leveling up.
Yeah.
And then you have the American cartoons. Dumb father, always dumb, can't pay his bills, you can't respect him, he's a clown. And at a subconscious level, you have a kid watching The Simpsons, American Dad, all these dumb shows, and like, yeah, my dad's like that, yeah, my dad's like that. And they talk to you, you're 18, you're like, shut up, dumbass. Why? Because that's the information you've been fed. Now you're looking at heroic tap, you're like, damn, my dad worked so hard, this guy's hustling, like, damn, like, mushrooms. So people are like, anime is cartoon, I look at him, I'm like, and you're a robot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then we start changing everything, bro. Like, but the truth is that the old school animes, the hero archetype is there. It is prevalent, and there are certain good messages. There are bad messages as well, but it's not this stereotypical dumb cartoon American stereotypical dad, right? That people make fun of, and that's intentionally designed there. So
It's more philosophical than anything.
what?
Like the anime, more philosophical, real.
Well, it puts you it puts you into it gives you a broad spectrum of the human emotion, right? Because with anime, you're able to convey messages and amplify messages and emotions without it feeling cheesy, right? You'll have actors, and that's the human error, right? And that's the human capacity, that's the human limitation. Even as actors, right? You can be, it can sound cheesy, but then an anime show, like you see a fighting show, you see all the graphics, you see the animation, you see the voiceover, and you're like, it shows up your spine because it reaches a level of truth and rawness that can't be achieved with a human persona. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying there's great actors, like there's fantastic actors, right? I'm just saying there's a lot of bad actors as well. A lot of reality TV show people waste time watching that. Like, I'll watch Naruto. Give me that Jiraiya Pain fight. Give me that Rock Lee Gaara fight. I'll watch that a million times over the Kardashians.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Fuck. We could probably go on and on. Dude, would love to actually connect with you in person. Right now, I kind of like moved and all
Yeah.
that. I took on a
Where you
different
at?
opportunity. I don't know if you know Russell Brunson by any chance?
Who?
His name is Russell Brunson.
Yeah, right. ClickFunnels, right?
Yeah. So I work directly with him,
Oh,
and
cool.
like I'm doing all that stuff. Yeah. But would love to definitely connect.
Good. So where are you located right now? Where's that located?
So I lived in New Jersey pretty much my whole life, and then I just moved
Oh,
out here to Boise, Idaho. Much different
oh wow.
culture.
Wow.
Uh,
How's that? Is it a
it's
crazy
good,
move or
dude.
no?
What's that?
I tell people, bro, moving is the best thing you can do. It puts you out of your comfort zone, especially if you don't like where you're at, bro.
Bro, it was.
I'm telling you, I went. I was 18 years old. I went from Buenos Aires, Argentina, to Seoul, Korea. I was 18, bro. Lived the whole year by myself. Like, dude, like get some balls and do something. Like go on an adventure.
Bro, I had a
But good
so
for you.
I worked in a family like it's a blue collar company, and basically like I graduated Division 1, hopped into like construction, bro. Didn't really love it, but it
Mm,
was like really hard for me to leave because it was like a 50-year-old company, and so I just like, bro, one day I just bounced and I was like, yo, I'm out. So now
yeah,
I like. Bro, I get to like ice bass with Russell, like fucking travel with him, do cool
yeah,
shit, and that's now it's like just trying to learn essentially from like a mentor, bro,
yeah.
and fucking just
Well, that's
like go
good,
for
bro.
something fucking big. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
get near someone who's trying to do like real big shit, and then just learn.
Well, and it's putting yourself in that same atmosphere and putting yourself in that same energy, right? And being
Yeah,
able to feed off of that, but not feed off of it in a way where you're also putting the person in the pedestal,
yeah,
but feed off of it where you're
yeah,
putting them in the role as a mentor and you're learning as much as you can from the good things and the bad things.
yeah.
Bro, like I'll walk in rooms with people who are super. I don't care, bro. You're famous because somebody made you famous. Okay. All it's called commercials, propaganda. Now, who's the face? Who's the puppet? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Usually it's going to be attractive because that's what they want. Because that's the easiest avenue, bro. It's like, okay, okay, perfect. Next guy, next girl. And people follow it, bro. Don't, yeah. So Bruce Lee was right, bro. That whole stardom thing is all fake, bro. It's literally the biggest genjutsu, bro. Put people on
You
a
know,
pedestal.
I was at the Funnel Hacking Live in Florida this year, and he put up a Bruce Lee quote, and he basically put up the quote, and it said, "I will be the highest paid Oriental actor of like in history of America." Very specific, bro.
Yeah.
Like very like okay, this is what I'm definite aim. This is what I'm gonna achieve. And like, bro, that hit home. It was like, damn, like that dude had a vision before it even happened. And I feel like that's where fucking success comes from. Is like when you like have a vision of something that you want to chase or like a definite aim, and you're striving towards that versus like you know
Well,
all over
if
the
you don't have
place.
an aim, bro, it's like having a bow and an arrow. I've been shooting bow and arrows lately. I've like wanted to start doing it. I love it. It's very therapeutic. But sometimes what you do is you just have to free flow and just like aim and shoot. A lot of people just yeah, bro. You know what it is? It goes back to like the whole this. It's the full spectrum. People don't want to narrow down and laser focus on one thing and try to go for it. Go for it, and it's fine if you take different paths as long as you're still pursuing the same endeavor. But it's also asking yourself: is the endeavor I'm pursuing is it my own or was it implanted by somebody else? Because a lot of people
Programs,
do it
bro.
because of their
Fucking
mom, their
programs.
dad, their sister, the person they're trying to prove wrong, and they don't even know it. And that's the saddest part.
Interesting.
And it's hard to ask yourself, but it's easier to ask yourself when you put yourself in certain states and be like, why am I doing this? Am I really doing this because am I pursuing this? Am I really doing it because I'm enjoying it? Rather, I'm doing it because it's making a change and I need to apply discipline. Doesn't matter my emotion, or am I doing it because I'm trying to prove myself to whatever, bro? Like that's up to you and your journey, bro. But the truth is, and that's working off a script. So things like microdosing psilocybin and all that, like I'm pro with the concept because it does rewire your brain,
Yeah.
but you have to be careful and go weary on higher dosages and becoming like the God symptom, right? I become awoke, and all it is a paradigm shift or different
I feel
level
like
of
it
consciousness.
makes you super sensitive too sometimes. Like, I don't know, it makes me sometimes a little weird
Well,
about my situation.
what it does is it hypersensitizes you,
Yeah.
especially once you start going to the more psychoactive properties, which is about 0.5 to 0.7 mgs in terms of the psilocybin content.
Yeah.
But if you were to super slow microdose and only cycle it once in a while with niacin, which they say is a stack with lion's mane. Yeah. Niacin to like vasodilate, expand, and then lion's mane for all this cognitive prowess. I feel like the combination would be fantastic. That's something I've tested and I found it to be very beneficial. I've gone off of it and then I've cycled methylene blue. Now, those are two things that cause high levels of dopamine and can put a lot of stress on the nervous system, so you don't want to simultaneously combine it because it can be an override, right? So that's why it's an alchemy, right? And that's why it's a journey of understanding. Like, it's like, bro, I can't tell you the amount of times I've screwed up potions. I can't tell you the amount of times I like started throwing up because I overdid it with this astringent herb. Like, it's happened. I was telling in the group, like, the other time when it was my worst enemy. I'll tell you a story because it's a funny one. I was trying this new detox bath. And peppermint oil, I usually get a little can like this, and I put a few drops. This time I grabbed one of the big ones, and I thought I was going to put a little bit, and I put a lot. Like a lot. I put a lot as to where I looked at it, I pondered. I'm like, should I do it? Should I not do it? And it was a hot shower, a hot bath. I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I'm going to man up. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to, it's going to burn, but it's going to be fine. But when I tell you I put a lot, I put a lot. So I get in the bath, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds in, my scrotum, like literally lights on fire. And I'm like, oh crap, like, dude, this is gonna be bad. But I'm like, no, I got this. Then my butthole, then my butt cheeks, then my legs, then my whole body started burning. Like, I'm talking about like literally fire. I'm like, holy cow, I got up, I got a cold bath and shower. I started shivering, passed out on the floor because I was on a 2-day fast. I was in ketosis, my body was already cold. Then I hit it with peppermint oil. I was literally shivering. I had like 5, and I was like literally laughing. I'm like, bro, I totally put way too much peppermint oil in that hot water. So it's like those things, dude, where you're like, it's just, you're in the sandbox, bro. Like, you're playing around, bro, and it just happens. Like,
I think
and
that
this
goes to
happened like
show, like,
3-4
I
months ago.
think that
And I
shows
knew it was gonna burn, but
kind of
I
like,
thought I was gonna man up and David Goggins it, and I didn't David Goggins. That thing like seeped into my bones, bro. Like that peppermint oil cleaned everything. It was like a massive antiseptic. Is the fire bath.
I think you see that in the health community in the sense of like not enough like balance, like just going from one extreme to another, especially in like the fruitarian community. I don't know if you've looked into that community, but
No,
I went fruitarian, bro. Literally ate fruit only for like 6 months, basically, like 12 days on watermelon only, like crazy stuff. And like what I found, bro, is like you just it's way too much cleansing, bro. Like it's too fast, it's too quick. It'll put you in a state where you're weak, you're mentally not strong, and like you have to balance it with building
that
foods
makes
like
sense, bro.
fucking food and shit.
No, I agree. And having
Like I mean,
the actual matter and giving it time for the body to extrapolate all the micronutrients and the macronutrients. Because that's true. I've realized that with fruit, everything almost acts like fiber and it cleans everything out really fast, which is good for fasting. But if you keep doing that, it's like, when are you going to give your body the raw material and enough time to actually digest it and not go right through? I'm not saying, like you said, like you don't absorb it. But I noticed that as well with fruit. Like, I'll do a lot of watermelon, even with vitality bowls. Like, when I reduce the amount of yogurt, granola,
yeah,
gluten free, of
yeah.
course, and I put more fruits, and I start doing a lot of watermelon structured water. It goes right through you, bro. Like, right through you, and it's honestly fascinating. It's all that fiber, which you don't get from juices. But I agree with you, bro. I feel like you need to have that solid food and switch it up.
I think that's
That's
the
what I'm
biggest
saying, bro.
problem
Even with
with
diet, not
anybody,
only
like in your
training.
community, probably, right? Would probably be like you were talking about earlier, is like defamation. Like literally, people just have like 10 to 20 meals backed up inside of them, which is causing like leaky gut and diseases to back up into their bloodstream and fucking cause
Yeah,
tons of fucking problems.
yeah, yeah. Literally, and then you know what they're doing? They're putting polyester clothing, putting poisonous sunscreen and going out for a 1 hour run because they're going to burn fat. And you see it in their face. They're like just in full of pain and inflammation. You're like, brother, you should not be running.
Yeah.
You should be going on a fast and a walk, right? And like reducing all that ache on the joints. Bro, it's just, bro, it's so many things, honestly. But definitely we should hit a few good topics. But definitely, bro, good stuff. I'll follow you
For sure.
because you added value and you didn't ask, and I thought you were cool.
Bro, can you follow me, bro?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end the live because I think I'm gonna probably go out for a walk.
Nice.
Like an hour walk.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good talking, bro. Good luck with things. If you need anything, yeah, shoot me a text. But that's what I do, bros. Focus more or less like all the value points, and you only get like 1 launch, bro. Like you don't have to hype it up or anything, but like understand your value, understand where you're valuable in the marketplace, and just show it to the right people.
I appreciate the insight, bro.
Yeah. But guys, that was honestly great. Peace and grace, and shoot me a DM.
All right, we'll do,
Like,
bro.
all right, peace.
All right, see you.